I have an update on the Kenny and Todd situation. Um, with that being said, I'm not gonna hold y'all no longer. Shout out to the Fit lawyer, ATL. Let's get it.
Oh no.
Ah, that's the sound of someone who's misplaced
My debit card.
their debit card.
Leave that thing.
Not the gas pump.
Good evening. It's the Fit Lawyer ATL, and we are live. I'm back. Who knew I would be back? Who knew I would be back so quick? Put a one in the chat if you can hear me. Make sure to do a sound check. Sound check. Can y'all hear me? Put a one in the chat if you can hear me. Make sure y'all can hear me back. All is well with the sound. Can y'all hear me? Put a one in the chat if you can. Yes. Okay. All right. I had to know. You scared me there for a minute. All right. We got to see some ones. Okay. All right. Come on in the room. Come on in. Y'all, time to answer, and it's getting messy. Ooh, it's getting messy, baby. I was in court all day, but when I heard that this dropped and what was in it, I had to come home, relax a little bit, and get on live. Baby, it's going down. All right, so for you all just coming into the room, I am the Fit Lawyer ATL, a 20-year criminal defense and personal injury attorney here in Atlanta, Georgia, but I did family law for 10 years. So I can talk about it, baby. Let's go. Shout out to Kandi Kane James 1146, who was here in the room early and became a member. Shout out Kandi Kane. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, girl. You were here ready to sip this tea because it's hot. It's hot. All right, Jersey girl. Trey says, "Hi, Big Fam. We're back. Yes, we are." Harriet 575 says, "Yes, you already know, y'all. It is spicy. I'm so sorry." Shout out partner, happily angry lawyer. We are patiently waiting on the Court of Appeals to issue their ruling in the Antonio Sledge case. So shout out Mutu. We, free Mutu until it's backwards. So we're praying that the decision comes down this month. So yes, James, I'm going live. Good to see you, buddy. Thanks for joining. I can't believe you're here for the messy, baby, because that's what it is. So everybody say, "Hey, Jim." Jersey already had the live on day. Yes. Girl, I got home. My friend sent me the documents. Because, we right here in Atlanta, Georgia. So literally I could just go to the courthouse, but guess what? Everything is online these days. We do e-file. So
One
as
second,
soon as
y'all.
it hits the system, get notification, you can download the docs, and we ready. Y'all know. Lord, Z True 007 says, Les was like, "Where is Fit with the T?" Yes, I am here with the T, baby. Hey, I'm so ATL. Y'all know I love me some Kandi, so I'm gonna follow this as long as we can, cause I got something to talk about there too. Somebody trying to shut us out. They trying to kick us out. They trying to kick us out already. We just getting started. They trying to kick us out. So y'all gotta come on in. Come in. Having the time of my life, 2008. What about the dismissal of the Trump case? We don't care about celebrities as the country is coming apart. Bye. Thanks for the view. You can't take it back. All right, sis. Well, hey, move on. People talk about different things every night. So find the channel that's talking about what you want to hear. But if we coming in the room, we got 41 in the chat already, and we haven't even started dropping it, so we want to know. So hit the like button as you come into the room. Haters exit or stay, and we gonna get into it. All right. Ooh, so Todd want the kids. Okay, we all knew that was coming, right? We all knew that was coming. Todd has been making daddy daycare videos since Ace could walk. Like we weren't surprised by that, right? But what I am surprised about, Todd is challenging the prenup. Oh, he wants some of Kandi money. Oh, he wants some of Kandi money. Y'all know Mama Joyce is, she here. She running around. She doing something. Cause Todd
Let me rewrite
wants
this
some of
while I'm
Candy's
thinking about it.
money. Oh my goodness, I can't believe he's challenging the prenup. It's all a scheme. What did Bertha say?
Why are y'all surprised that he challenged the prenup? He said on tape that he did sign the prenup, which he did. But he didn't sign the prenup until the last minute. Only thing this idiot had to do was not sign the prenup. And he would have been good. But basically, what Kenny Burns did was told him, sign the prenup or you're not marrying me. Which, if you look at it, Kenny Burris is the one who backed him into a corner. Now, she may have to pay up for backing Todd into the corner. Let's continue.
What did Bertha say? It's all a scheme set up by Todd to come to you with the bullshit.
This machine could change t-shirt printing forever. I printed this t-shirt with the back neck label, sleeve hit, an awesome chest graphic, hang tag, and I printed the box with this mystery machine right here.
Ooh, have y'all been keeping up with the videos that's been dropping with coming from Todd's YouTube channel from like 2 years ago? It was Todd and the Glam Squad, and he would be talking about different things. I feel like it was a passive aggressive show. The clips I've seen, he would throw out hypotheticals that seem to fit him, but at like it's not him, and then just kind of see what her response was gonna be. And on one of them, he was kind of saying like, if you're married to a woman and you making less and she's making more, but you helped her build herself up while you were with her, and immediately Kandi said that because she was worth 34 million before she met you, Todd. 34 million before she met you. Oh, wait a minute. Is TLA in the room? Okay. Louise says, throw that prenup out. Salute big TLA in the damn chat. Shout out, Lee. All right, Lee. I know you ain't gonna come up, but I do want to drop
That prenup can and probably should be thrown the hell out.
He's gonna be like, whatever. So I don't know, Lee. Tell me now if you want to come up. I would love to get your opinion on this. Maybe we could go a little back and forth because Todd had Randy Kessler. Kandi need to come high and lead because her attorney already dropping the ball. Already. How did she file on the 21st and said she wanted joint custody, but now that Todd want the kids, Kandi want the kids too. Oh, we about to get into it. We about to get into it. TLA is in the damn chat. Hey, Lee. Shout out to the mods in the room. Please drop Lee's channel in the chat. All right, y'all. So we about to get into it. So Todd wants the kids, and he is challenging the prenup. Why is he challenging the prenup? I can't believe the reason. And you know what? When I read, at first I'm like, we all watched the show, right? We saw months Kandi talking about this prenup. I mean, she did interviews outside of Bravo, and they would ask her like, oh, there was rumors that you eloped, and she said the prenup ain't signed. I'm not eloping. I'm not doing nothing until the prenup signed. So the prenup was spoken about to the world months in advance. Todd had an attorney to assist him with drafting the prenup. So how is he going to be able to challenge? They gave it to him right before the wedding. Lee always talks about it. He signed it in the groomsman room right before the wedding.
Sure hell
They
did.
did not give the final prenup to his lawyer. What is happening? Lee, Kandi needs you. She worth too much money for these kind of mistakes. How are you worth $34 million and there are challenges to the prenup? I don't get it. I don't get it. Lee said he wish he could come up, but he's going to Lifetime. Yeah, Lee is bougie, y'all. Lee go to the expensive gym. Lee said he is not competing with you niggas at LA Fitness for a machine. He's at the athletic club, paying $1,000 a month for a membership. So he is is not going to the gym with the YNs. Shout out Lee. Shout out. Enjoy your workout. All right, y'all. So we got 63 in the chat. Make sure you hit the like button on the way in. We are here tonight. Todd has filed his answer. If you recall, we were live Saturday with celebrity family law attorney Yama Ferry, and we discussed Kandi's petition. And I will say, I was going to do a video, and I will never hesitate on this again because it was addressed in Todd's answer. But Kandi's attorney made a mistake already in the initial petition. If you recall, as we discussed it, we talked about the petition for divorce being typed up by the attorney, right? Those are the attorney's words. The client then signs what's called a verification to verify that the statements in the petition are actually true. Well, Kandi's attorney failed to file that verification along with the initial petition. Y'all, Kandi worth too much money for any error, okay? So I noticed that when I got off the live, I was like, where's the verification? There was not one. So what that meant is the judge can't rule on her petition for divorce if it's not verified. However, this error is something that can easily be corrected. However, her attorney did not catch it until Todd's attorney mentioned it in his answer. But I'm going to point out something to you that will show that she did have a verification from the beginning, but she just simply forgot to file it. And if I'm worth $34 million, I'm sorry, you not.
You're fired.
You can't be messing up.
Yeah, you fired.
No, not when Todd and when it got Randy Kessler. Like, he has divorced Portia and Cordell. He divorced somebody else on the show. Like, he's been on Real Housewives of Atlanta handling family cases, family matters several times. So we mentioned and talked about him on the show. I was like, Todd probably is going to hire Randy Kessler, and that's exactly what he did. So,
as he should.
Let's get into his documents because right off the bat, there are no errors, okay? Randy Kessler is not coming to play. And when we get through going through his filings, Kandi, I don't know, she might want to try to get Lee to come out of retirement. Because I'm sorry, if my estate is $34 billion, I'm sorry. I just we can't play any games. So let me get back to sharing my screen so we can get into this this document from Todd. Okay, let's get into the scheme that has been set up by Todd. Lee says fired on the spot. Yes, on the spot. Kandi. Jersey Girl Trey says Kandi called attorney Ferry expeditiously. Yes. And this is it. This is really it, Jamaica Sweet, right? Kandi already has told us over and over and over again, if she gets $5,000 a month, she is getting $1,000 apartment. So she can invest the other $4,000 in businesses and whatever. She's very frugal. But when it comes to divorcing somebody who ain't had nothing and you got everything, I'm sorry. This is when you do not cut costs. This is when you say, I'm sorry, I know we've been friends, I know you my peoples, but I got to go get top dog. You got to spend the money. This is when you write a check for $50,000 for the lawyer at the initial.
Moderate to severe Crohn's symptoms kept me out of the picture. With Sky Rizzi, pills symptom relief at 4 weeks. Many people were in remission at 12 weeks.
You write a check for $50,000 for the lawyer at the initial meeting, okay? Lee, am I right? Like, this is when you do not cut costs. You do not hire friends because you know them and they do this on the side. Whatever the situation is, you need to go hire an amazing attorney to protect all of your assets. Because Todd just set this scheme up, as Bertha say, from the beginning. So, I don't know. We're going to see what happens as the days go by because things are moving quickly because he had 30 days to respond. Todd took about a week or so, right? All right, so right off, we get into the first document. I'm trying to get back into my share screen. Why do I always... Okay, here we go. All right, so this is the entry of appearance here. Can y'all see that? Wait a minute, no, let me make this much bigger. Okay, there we go. So this is the entry of appearance. It was filed on the 26th of November. Now, what happens when you e-file documents, right? We just got these documents today because court was closed. It was Thanksgiving. Court was slow on Friday. They're not open on the weekend, so it processed today. However, it was filed on the 26th. So he said, oh, Lee said he's coming up. You coming up, Lee? So he said, now you're going to come up. Let me put, yes, drop the link. I'm going to drop the link. All right. So y'all got to let me pause. Figure out how to do this. Okay, so let me figure out how to do the link. All right, y'all.
Sure, Brad.
Let me make sure I share the right link. This link is just for lead, so don't hit it if you're not the lead attorney.
Sorry about it. It has some sugar at the bottom.
Okay, let me.
There we go.
Don't mess it up, Fid. Don't mess it up. How do I share? Okay, let me stop sharing my screen. Let me figure it out, y'all. Give me 2 seconds. These buttons, they didn't switch the buttons up. I might have to. Oh, there we go. Okay, it might guess. All right, I got it. Okay, so let me drop it over here. And then let me pin. I think I got it. Yes. Okay, all right, y'all. So we coming up so we can get into it. I'm so excited. All right, so let me finish the entry of appearance, and I'm going to let Lee come up here for the meet. He was headed to the gym, y'all, so he probably had the muscles all up. So let him put some clothes on, and then we'll bring him up. Lead is coming up. Lead. All right. Now, how do I go back to sharing, y'all? This is why you can't take time off of YouTube, okay? Cause I am lost in the sauce with my guys. There we go. All right. Okay. So entry of appearance. So as I stated, it was e-filed November 26th. It processed at 1:11 p.m. So this was it the 26th, the day after Thanksgiving? What day was Thanksgiving, y'all? Let's see. I wanna make sure I'm as messy as possible. The day before. Okay, so the day before Thanksgiving, this is when this was filed. And so it processed the day because the court was closed Thursday and Friday. So here we go. So entry of appearance and request for notices. Please take notice Randall M. Kessler and Asha Hayward James, so 2 attorneys within the firm of Kessler and Salamiani. Lee gonna tear me up by these names, okay? LLC. Enter their appearance as counsel of record here for respondent T. Jermaine Tucker. These are his attorneys, and they have filed their entry. And this answer and counterclaim, y'all, Todd wants the kids. We about to get into it. Yes, shout out Guy Incognito. Super chat. Lead attorney here. Oh yes, struggle streaming already. I am. That's okay. That's okay. We're gonna work it on out. Thank you so much for your super chat, Guy Incognito. Thank you so much. Y'all come on in the room. Come on in. Lead is on his way up. Look, all we got to get into this answer. I cannot believe what I read. I just glanced at it and I had to stop because I was like, let me just do the first run through with y'all because it's all a scheme set up by Todd, y'all. He coming to us with the bush. So Todd has filed his answer and counterclaim for divorce and other relief. Comes now respondent T. Jermaine Tucker by and through his counsel of record and files this his answer and counterclaim for divorce and other relief. Ooh, you got a lot of words. Kandi's divorce petition was simple. It was like 4 pages, a couple sentences. She dropped the date they were married, the date they were separated. It's already looking like Todd, the attorney putting in more work. You don't ever want to see this, okay? You don't ever want to be the person with all the money and then the person with little money, attorney, count more words in their document being used. So we gotta regroup. All right. So let's get into it. The overview. Respondent T. Jermaine Tucker, husband, and petitioner K. Lanice Tucker, wife, were married on April 4th, 2014. On that same day, a purported prenuptial agreement prepared by wife's attorney was presented to husband without husband having counsel. Ooh. It gets worse. It gets worse. Even though wife's then counsel had communicated previously with the undersigned, which would be Randy Kessler, regarding a potential prenuptial agreement. So what they're saying is, at the wedding,
To go out when you have the coziest spot in town. Friday night, which means it's movie night with my mini me.
hours before, minutes before they are walking down the aisle, Todd is presented with the final prenup. And if I don't know how many of you all watched Bravo, kept up with the show, The Wedding Special, I watched it. So put a one
I
in the chat
didn't.
if you remember The Wedding Special. This prenup was discussed throughout the wedding special. And if you'll remember, the night before the wedding, Todd came to Kandi in whispers.
Now, if anybody saw the clip, you will see the clip that he was basically strong armed to sign that prenup. If anybody's seen the clip, he he really didn't want to sign that prenup. It's not that he didn't want to sign it. He didn't feel it was any need for it. But the only reason I think Todd went ahead and signed the prenup was to shut Kandi up, and but more importantly, to shut up Mama Joyce. Let's get back into it.
Asking if he could discuss the two things that he had an issue with. One of those things
I ain't even used my
mic.
mic. Hold on,
Put out the
y'all.
house. And the other one, I don't recall if the show showed what the other issue was, but I do remember the 30-day. And this was the night prior. So the day of, he still hasn't signed it, but I can't believe that they just presented it directly to him, knowing that he had an attorney speaking on his behalf prior. I see a lot of ones in the chat. So y'all remember the wedding special, right? So y'all know it wasn't like
Nah, I
the
can't.
prenup just came
I'll
out
just
of
go
nowhere.
without it this time.
But this is an issue. If you know someone is represented, or you've spoken to or your attorney has spoken to their attorney at any point about an issue, you need to always go back to that attorney until that attorney tells you they no longer represent that client. This is a big no-no. And this prenup was to protect a $34 million estate. I don't get how any errors are occurring. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, how?
That makes me ready. I cannot wait till Lee gets up and he tells us, is that going to be enough, Lee? Is that going to be enough? The fact that at one point, let's say top of the month, Todd, attorney, talks to Kandi's attorney, and they say we're working on this prenup. And that's it. There's no draft sent over. There's no redlining. There's no discussions between the attorneys, nothing. And then, but there is constant discussion between the parties. We all saw that on the show, right? We saw them discuss the prenup amongst themselves, working out, hashing out the issues, right? But what Todd is saying is that there was no conversation between the attorneys. And then they literally were in the facility that the wedding is occurring in, and he's presented at that time with the final. Is that duress? Oh, we got Lee! Oh, we got TLA in the building. Y'all, TLA was so ready. TLA done ran home. Y'all done had TLA get suited and booted. Oh, before we bring him up, a $20 super chat. She says, ready for part 2 of Tucker versus Tucker. Yes, it's going down. Ooh, Lee, let me get him up. Let me bring him up. Shout out. Oh, there we go. Oh,
there we at. Can you hear me?
Let me let him do his intro. Let me let him do his intro.
I ain't got no intro, man. I was headed to the gym.
I
Am I too loud? I was getting dressed. And I saw you come on and you talking about this. People have been mentioning this to me like, hey, what's going on with Kandi and, what's his name?
See, that's what I'm saying. See, Lee don't keep up with all this
I'm
shit.
damn near 50 years old, okay? But I saw you did an excellent coverage on this with another attorney, and people have been asking me about it. So I was like, man, what's going on? But now listening to you talk about it, I'm like, oh man.
You gotta talk about it, Lee.
What are you doing, Kandi? You should have come to me, baby. It's crazy. It is absolutely crazy. You know, I don't want to prejudge it. I know nothing about this case other than the 10 minutes that I've heard you talk about it.
Right.
I did see I saw a YouTube short on it just today where I guess he was signed in the prenup in a wife beater, and they were recording it, right? So then that's something that you can do to try to fight claims for duress. I was like, oh, okay, they're taking this serious. I didn't know it was signed. So when was it signed? Like at the wedding or what?
At the venue. It was signed at the venue. Now, before you go there, because I already know where you go before you go there.
Man.
There was plenty discussion about the prenup between
It should never signed it.
prior to the moment of signing. That was all. So it was, she discussed this prenup on other interviews outside of the show. So the prenup was known worldwide.
He should never signed it.
That makes a difference. That's true. You're exactly right.
However, in this overview, I'm not sure if you heard, but Todd is claiming that they spoke to his attorney at the beginning, never again, and submitted the final document just to him with no attorney for hours before the wedding, knowing that originally they had spoken to his attorney.
Not getting powerful erections, even after taking an ED medication, comes down to how arousal really works.
His attorney. So he's trying to say they gave me the final unrepresented.
Wait, so did he hire an attorney? Did he pay an attorney? I guess it doesn't matter if it's paid or not, but I would like to know, did he retain an attorney?
In this document, it says that wife's then counsel had communicated previously with the undersigned regarding a potential prenup. So there was an initial conversation between Kandi's attorney at that time and Randy Kessler that they were coming up with a prenup, but no other conversation.
Okay. On the one hand, he's making it sound like Randy's kind of making it sound like it was just a consultation. But then on the other hand, Randy's saying, no, I'm his attorney. And so if Randy's saying he's his attorney, then he's his attorney. And Kandi's attorney has to respect that. Now, for Kandi, then, when you say that there was like a lot of going back and forth about negotiation of the prenup, who was negotiating the prenup if Randy wasn't doing it? And guys, for y'all that don't know, Randy Kessler is a huge divorce attorney down here, attorney to the stars. Excellent attorney. And so who was doing all the negotiation?
The part, Kandi and Todd.
Okay, so was it Kandi and Todd? They were just talking, I guess, in their kitchen and stuff, and then they went back to...
Yeah, they get back to her attorney about what they agreed, and her attorney drafted the final and presented it to him at the wedding. Because they were still, it was 2 clauses. I can't remember the second. I don't know if they showed the second on the show, but they did show he was fighting the 30-day kick out.
Yeah.
They separated. And it was one other issue, and that was kind of like the night before he snuck in and said, can we talk?
Kandi's stupid. And I love Kandi. Shout out to Mary Maria.
Yeah, that was
stupid. Boy, Kandi can get it, okay? I love me some damn Kandi, boy. But if you got, what you say, $34 million in play, and this dude want 90 days as opposed to 30, give him the 90 days, give him 120. Like, you know, people, like, they try to save pennies and they're losing dollars, right? If this dude just wants an extra 60, 90, 120 days, fine. If I got $34 million, listen, for 120 days, I'm gonna move out. All right, I got it. I got it to move out for 4 months, 5 months, half the place, right? Rent it out. You can do whatever you want with it. But 120 days, you need to get out. And so, if people sometimes, and I deal with this a lot when I mediate cases, they'll, so the other party will ask for something that's just minor, so small, but people will get dug in. No, and this is it. I'm the breadwinner. This is my money. My way or the highway, and then you get stuff like this. So, I don't know what the second thing was, but for the first one, she definitely should have gave that dude 60, 90, 120, 180. She got the money to go somewhere else for 3, 4, 5 months. She do.
Exactly. Washing 18 says in the special he called her lawyer saying he was ready to sign without his lawyer's approval, which is on film. Does that change things? They did document.
Yes. Well, no. Does it change things? Here's the thing. Her attorney is sketchy as hell because I don't know if you deal with, you probably don't deal with this much since you do a lot of criminal. You do PI stuff. Well, maybe PI stuff is different too, but when you deal with civil cases and divorce cases, let me say divorce cases specifically, where there are two attorneys, private attorneys representing private individuals, sometimes, I'll be representing the mother, let's say, or let's say I'm representing a wife in a divorce, and I'm on this husband's ass. I'm on his ass. And he's not liking what his attorney is telling him. So then he'll pick up the phone and call me, okay? He'll be like, hey, Lee, I don't know what this guy telling you, but like, we can do something now. Maybe I can put some money in your pocket, right? These white
Okay,
people
we
try to
back.
keep that money. And so what you immediately have to do is you have to say, stop. Listen, don't tell me nothing. I can't talk to you. I cannot communicate with you. I'm hanging up. And I'm going to call your attorney and let him know or her know that you called me. And I hang up. We're not talking at all. So it's really sketchy. And I think whoever made that comment about him calling to the other attorney, that's a really good observation. I'm glad that person said that. But that attorney should not be entertaining telephone calls from an opposing party
Exactly.
who's not the attorney. And there have been a few cases in my life where I got so close to a fist fight. And one of those cases was when I had a client, and the other attorney called my client and had a long conversation with him about how I wasn't cooperating and I'm gumming up the works and he should be doing this and he shouldn't listen to me. And, for a day or two, it really damaged my relationship with my client because my client started to believe him. And you guys listening, y'all are like, oh, that's crazy. No, you don't know how crazy that is. It's crazy.
It's so hard to repair the relationship between you and your client when they don't trust you about something.
Exactly. And then what the guy wanted my client to sign had my client paying all of his attorney's fees. He couldn't see his kids. I mean, it was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. So guys, the point of all this is that if you are represented, if you have an attorney, the other attorney cannot talk to you. So if you kind of get sideways with your attorney or something, that's fine, that happens. But if you call the other attorney has to hang up in your face. I mean, that's basically the law. It can't be, well, what are we talking about? Can't do that. And so I don't know how that conversation went, and I don't want to prejudge Kandi's attorney because that's a bad violation. Yeah. So maybe the guy just called and said, hey, I don't know what he said, but he should have. The phone should have been hung up in his face. Let me say that.
We should have checked back in with Randy and just, hey, are you still representing Todd on this prenup? We got the final. I can send it over. You take that step regardless if you feel like it's needed or not, just to cover your bases.
100%.
Hey, $1 million, man. It's too many corners being cut for me.
Who did she hire? We see that sometimes you don't want to spend money, so then you'll go and hire a slip and fall attorney who's your cousin or something, because you don't really want to spend the money like that.
Right.
It comes back to bite you.
I got a prenup. We already signed. We ain't talking about nothing but the kids. I know I ain't gonna get them. I'm in New York. I'm here. we could just, this is gonna be easy because her complaint was so simple.
If you have tried multiple oral antidepressants and
So simple. But the new one is not. Guy Incognito says, $2 super check, thank you. He taught us Kandi already lost. To Brett.
It sounds sketchy. Shout
Damn,
out to
sting my
Guy
teeth.
Incognito. Big shout out to Guy. And shout out to N. Allen also with the super chat blessing. Thank you so much, N. Allen.
Yes, and T, you missed the Little Gaming Channel was here on Saturday. It was the lead, the stream sponsor. I was like, okay.
What? Shout out to man, the Little Gaming Channel. Just an amazing human being. Just an amazing man. Shout out to the Little Gaming Channel.
I've heard Beauty says Kandi cheap. Yes, she is very frugal, very when it's coming time to protect the assets.
But I see that so much with men. I see that with high net worth men. They will not spend money on an attorney, or they will get a bad attorney because they just don't want to spend the money. And I've never really seen it like that with women. And so it's interesting that I see it with Kandi. So maybe it's not a man-woman thing at all. Maybe it's a breadwinner type of thing. People who got money, they got money for a reason. They just don't be throwing it around. But sometimes people who have all that money, they don't know when to spend it. Guys, if you are a saver, you can run into this problem. I'm a saver myself, and there's a great book that I read. It's called Die with Zero. It was the best book that I read of 2025. Just an amazing book written by this black dude who's an energy trader, has hundreds of millions of dollars. I would recommend that book if you're a saver. But one of the things he talks about is, listen, spend the money. Okay, you're not going to take it. Oh, you're not going to take it with you. Your kids are going to be fine. Get insurance policies. Spend the money while you can. And you have to be able to prioritize, say, hey, these, I'm not going to spend it on some BS, but these are 3, 4, 5 things. And I'm gonna spend it, a significant amount on these 3, 4, 5, 6 things, whatever my priorities are. One of the things that you should absolutely be spending your money on is your health, right? It don't make no sense to save money, your health going down. You should throw a lot of money at your health. You should also throw a lot of money to legally preserve your wealth. Trying to get a prenup, why would you cheap out on that? It makes no sense. So I feel what you're saying, and let me tell you, Todd is not cheaping out. No. Todd is not cheap.
I'm gonna ask for her to pay for the attorney's fees. That's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, I'm sure he will, and I'm sure Randy charges $600-700 an hour. So
Most likely.
Kandi got it. You let me know that if she makes $34 million. Oh, she got $700 an hour.
But that's what it was. She was on a housewife.
Really? God, Kandi she gonna be paying. It's
no drugs, and it looked like she might have messed around and married one.
Listen, you show up and you decided, I don't know, man. I don't want to speak on men and women, but if I'm a woman and I'm looking at my husband and he's signing a prenup in a wife beater, like something wrong. Something went really wrong.
Mama Joyce told her. No, Mama Joyce said from the beginning he ain't the one.
Golly, boy, how you signing up?
Mary, I don't know. Just love. I don't know. Let's see what else this ninja talking about.
I was 3 seconds from calling him a ninja. He owned TV in a white beater, signing some legal paperwork. That is a ninja right there. What? Oh my God.
So I opened up the divorce, talking about being presented with the final prenup.
Hold up, can you put it on the view that's one more over to the right? They kind of blow it up a little bit.
Which one? Oh, this one.
Yeah.
There
so we can kind of read it with you a little bit.
Okay, there we go. I have a pointer now.
Maybe you can maximize it a little bit too.
Some more. Okay.
Yeah.
In class, why we up?
There you go, maximize. Can you do some more? That's too much. Well, that's pretty good right there. So we can kind of read along a little bit.
Okay. All right. So
or if you want to do it, you can go all the way to the top right, to the top left, and maximize the screen. Can you do that? Oh no, what you should do is go up to the top where it says view, and then uncheck the show bookmark show toolbar and always show full URL.
Oh, where is that at?
It's at the top left on view. Go all the way up. Go to the left. Go to the left.
Okay.
And then all the way to the top of the screen. I don't know. You got a Mac or?
No, it's a PC.
Oh, shall
Oh,
we?
yeah.
Easy. Okay.
Fine.
All right, we good right here.
We good right here?
Yeah.
Okay, he's like, let it go. Is that better?
No, that's not better. That's good right. Yeah, that's good. Now blow it all the way up.
Can I make it bigger?
Yeah.
Is that getting bigger? No, it's not. How you make it bigger? Okay, there we go. There we go.
You got it?
Okay.
There you go.
Good God.
No, you're doing great. You can make it bigger than that too if
Hey,
you want.
somebody put the hair on. Okay. Alright, so we good. Okay,
Yeah,
now.
that's good.
Alright, so the overview respondent CT Jermaine Tucker and petitioner Kayla Niece Tucker were married on April 4th, 2014. On that same day, a purported prenup was presented to the husband without husband having counsel, even though wife's then counsel had communicated previously with the undersigned regarding a potential prenup. The minor.
Let me jump in right there because I thought that sentence said something different. That's in that sentence. Randy is not saying that he represented Todd, is he?
Well, he's saying what he said. He words it and says that her attorney had communicated previously with him regarding a potential prenup. So what does that mean?
Yeah, what does that mean? You know, because her attorney can communicate with anyone. That doesn't mean, you know, I don't know. That's a little iffy right there. I thought Randy was saying that she didn't communicate with me and I represented him. If Randy doesn't represent him, that makes Todd's case weaker. But you know, it's kind of iffy. So
Yeah. So that what does that sentence mean? We'll have to get into it and see.
right.
Was there a retainer agreement?
Exactly. Or was there any type of understanding? He just says the undersigned, but he never said, hey, I represent this dude.
Right. So if you just had a one-off conversation with somebody 6 months prior.
Exactly. That could be that's a consultation. Yeah, that could absolutely be a consultation.
It says the minor. Oh, okay. The minor children are currently in husband's care and residing with him in Georgia, while wife's out-of-state work obligations have required and will continue to require her to be away from the children for at least the next several months.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Take care. The parties have been working cooperatively in an effort to resolve all issues, and husband remains committed to continuing those discussions in good faith. However,
Be back in a second.
it's like,
Exactly. You know I love you, baby.
However, in the hopefully unlikely event the parties are unable to reach a full agreement, husband shows that he will seek an award of primary physical custody, joint legal custody, and final decision-making authority. Damn, Todd want it all.
And honestly, this sounds like a reverse type of case where normally what you see is a man, you know, falling out. He's traveling a lot. He's here and he's there, and he can't really keep up with the kids like that. And then you got the wife at home, and the wife is taking the kids to school. The wife is taking the kids to urgent care, taking the kids to soccer practice, taking the kids to the dentist. And the wife is kind of the main parent. Well, here is the reverse. Candy's out, she's shooting films or movies or whatever she's doing, pilots, and she's here and there promoting. And Todd's at home apparently with these kids for months. And the mom calls in, talks to her, maybe FaceTime, how you doing, baby? I'm in New York, you know that. And so, you know, in Atlanta, guys, we're already kind of judges kind of are already informally kind of accepting a 50-50 for men. But in cases like this, where it's clear that you, at least from what this petition is saying, that maybe you have one parent who's kind of the caretaker of the kids, the judge is always going to kind of lean towards more of that. Now, it's weird because Candy is a woman, and judges look at that, right? But especially if you're in white beater son and stuff, it's like, I don't know about you. But this is an interesting case because it kind of flips the dynamic. Usually it's the man, running around traveling, making all the money. Here it's Candy's doing all that, and Todd apparently is at home with the kids.
In Allen 007 says, dang, Candy found while she was out of town now. Timing. But guess what? Candy's gonna be out of town for months.
Man.
Find a deal in New York. I think she's in a play. I think she has rehearsals or something about Broadway. So she is. It's a work. She's the breadwinner, right?
Okay,
so,
I'm
like
back,
said,
y'all.
It does bring up a different dynamic. And here in Atlanta, we have a lot of black women who are CEOs. Look at Lee.
They doing the damn thing, making $800,000 running a boot camp at Piedmont Park. I'm like, dang, y'all making money. However, y'all doing lashes $400,000. And you a real estate agent. Like, these women out here know how to get it. They really, really do. They know how to get it.
Yeah, so it's a different dynamic. So in order to get to that money, you got to be gone from the home. You got to, I was just making a joke. I don't have kids yet. But last week I had court Monday, Tuesday I was in court all day. I had to come home, drive down to Baldwin County Tuesday evening because I had court at 9 a.m. in Baldwin County. So as I'm driving back up Wednesday, I'm making a joke to my mom, like, where's the baby? Where would the baby be? My dad's child.
Imagine you in Baldwin County in court sitting there waiting on your case to be heard, and you get a text saying, hey, from the school, hey, you need to come pick up your kid's sick. What you gonna do,
I was late.
Right? If you got a husband or let's say a father who can go and scoop up the kids, that makes things so much easier. It's really tough to have kids without a support system.
And then you rely on that person to help you, and then things fall apart, and now that's going to be used against you because you out of town working. It's in a complaint.
Exactly. If Candy's on set, she can't pick up those kids. She's 9 states away.
Yeah, 9 states away. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting. I brought that one up already. I want to just. She says Candy is about to be Holly Berry.
Ooh, that's a real. Shout out to Deja Vu. That's such an excellent comparison observation. That's an excellent comment.
Because in Candy's original petition,
about to get Holly Berry.
If you can't really make joint custody work, which is 50-50, I don't know how living in New York you can make joint custody work with a 4 and a 6 or 7-year-old, or elementary school kids. Then somebody has to be primary custodian.
Yeah.
Somebody has to, and I just don't see a judge ripping the kids from Georgia, the only town they've known, the only home they've grown up in, to make them go now to New York. And then what if mom gets a contract in California? Does she take the kids to California in 3 months? Are they in, Vegas in the summertime because she has a contract there? Like, what is the best interest of the kids? So this is not a Kandi Todd battle per se. It's about what's in the best interest of the kids.
And maybe what's in the best interest of Todd. We're talking about throwing out this prenup, and we can talk more about that, but I do want to say, just the child support alone, Deja Vu brought up Halle Berry. Halle Berry was paying $18,000 a month for years for her 2 kids. So imagine, Todd got 2 kids. That dude in a white beater could do a lot with 18 racks a month coming in. He can live a nice little life going down to Lennox and Phelps, So if he gets this, this is kind of going to be kind of like an alimony type of thing.
Yeah.
Where he can get alimony even if the prenup is upheld because Candy's just worth so much money.
Yeah, Tasha AK47 says Todd be in the strip club. Yeah, he stay in the street. They even talked about that on his YouTube. She complained about him being out to 5 a.m. and how much that bothered her and all of that stuff. Yuri Brown official, hey sis, she said, Shout out Yuri. Gorgeous Yuri. Thank you. She says there is no way on God's green earth she would want to be in a divorce during the play on Broadway. The rehearsals are so difficult and it's so like you wouldn't want the emotional distraction. But I can't control that, right? And this is what I used to tell people when I did divorces. When you say the D word to your partner, be ready. You can't control how fast it's gonna move, how slow it's gonna move. You can't control that time.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. Both of you guys are right. You know, in terms of the controlling the timing, you can a little bit. For example, in this case, because she's the one that filed. And
Well,
so,
maybe that he was going to file and she wanted to kind of beat him to be the one that filed first.
maybe.
They were in discussions and something happened that they're not able to agree on that made her file that they've been separated since July.
Really? I know that, for example, timing is so important in these divorce cases. We talked last year about the coach, it was an NBA coach for the Miami Heat, and he knew that he was going to get a humongous $100 million re-up on his contract. And so he got that contract, and then he filed for the divorce. He knew he was going to get the contract. He filed for the divorce. The contract, the divorce ended, and then he arranged to get the contract. You know, so he knew he had something big coming up. So he filed real quick. Oh yeah, we'll settle it, whatever you want, babe, whatever you want. They settled it, closed it, and then he got this humongous contract. If she's got this Broadway thing, and I'm not sure if it's really kind of worth the money or how long it's going to be, but it could have been, she could have, you know, talked to the dude, it's all, yeah, this is all my fault, baby, you know, and just kind of made peace at home, did the Broadway thing, so like she's not distracted, like Yuri was saying, get that out the way and then file. Because usually dudes are not really trying to file divorces like that. We'll live miserably for some reason. Dudes will be miserable in their homes and they just won't file.
Won't file.
Right? They will not file. So, you know, it kind of seems like Kandi was the one who was just like, oh, whatever, you know. And she got $34 million anyway, so if the Broadway thing don't work out, she probably don't care. But, you know, timing is definitely an issue. And women, they'll be looking at it. It's like, oh, should I file now? Should I file next year? You know, it's an issue.
It's very interesting to see why we're here now, but it's on and popping now. All right, where we leave off at? Okay, so he's asking for, as we stated, primary physical custody, joint legal custody, and final decision-making authority. In the final decision-making authority, we talked about this on the first live. When it comes to legal custody, there are 4 categories. It's education, extracurricular activities, health insurance, and religion. And so basically, Todd is asking to have final say over all of that. And primary physical custody. So basically, he wants Kandi just to be weekend mom.
Well, usually those 4 categories just go to the primary physical custodian anyways. And what it says is, listen, you and I, we are going to talk and discuss about these, really any type of major issue with the kids. But there's 2 of us, there's not 3 of us to break the tie. So if there's 2 of us, someone has to break the tie. So I'm going to be the tiebreaker. And usually the primary custodian is the one who is the tiebreaker. Now there are 4 categories, 2 are important and really 2 are not. Usually people consider the non-important categories are extracurricular activities and religion. And usually the important categories are considered non-emergency medical care and education. So what happens a lot of times, if it gets contentious, the party will say, let's just do 2 and 2. So they'll give the mom, you know, the important ones, which is the education and the non-emergency medical, and then they'll give the father the non-important ones, which is soccer and religion, just to say, okay, well, it's even.
Right.
Yeah, usually those are going to go to the mom, or let's say more specifically the primary care person anyway, because the kids are going to be with them the majority of the time.
You want paradise for toes in the sand. It doesn't get any better than this without the price. Finding a cheap beach house is actually very possible. Cheap Beach House, this series premiere tonight at 9 on HGTV.
Oh, come
However, you
on.
book your hotel. First check Kayak to see what local people say about where you're planning to stay.
Shout out to Jersey Girl Trey in the chat who's pulled up the show and is watching and says that Todd hired Randy the same day, where Randy advised him not to sign the prenup.
Wow. Wow. And see, that's another thing too. Y'all don't be listening. You know, and you know, we wanna jump down. I guess Candy's throat by Candy's attorney. Candy's attorney's throat by by my mind went left for a second. Well, because you know, how do you get this dang prenup signed on the day of the wedding? But it could have been the case that, you know, the attorney's saying over and over, Candy, you gotta get this signed, gotta get this signed. Why are you waiting so late? Why are you waiting so late? And you guys will mess up a really good prenup by doing it at the last second. Or, you know, this guy Todd will call, you know, one of Georgia's foremost experts in divorce. The attorney will tell him, don't sign it, and then what's the guy do?
Sign it.
Y'all don't be listening. Y'all don't be listening. You know, feel like, hey man, you know, 6 months you looking at, you know, go on and get it. You know, you're looking at about 10, 12 years. So these 6 months, no, Phil, I want to take it to trial. Let's go to trial. I know the jury gonna believe me. We're gonna make the state use their money. And then when they get 8 years, right, they don't listen. Right? So you guys, y'all hire us, and then y'all don't listen to us. It's crazy.
You're paying for the advice and then ignore it. It's so crazy every day. So, with the wife having substantial time and meaningful access to the children, okay, so he wants to give her substantial parenting time, and he's not trying to cut off access, but just wants primary physical custody. Husband wishes to make clear that he recognizes wife as a loving and capable parent and remains sincerely hopeful that prior and continued discussions between the parties will bring full resolution of all matters. What's this about? Is this just kind of like, I'm asking for a whole bunch, but I'm trying to make it sound good? And
Yep, that's exactly right. Judge, we're not going to cut the mother off. The mother's going to get substantial and significant time. Now, we do want primary custody, but our guy's totally reasonable. The kids love the mom loves the kids. It's in the best interest for these kids to see their mom within reason, right? So that's, you know, it's just a little soft shoeing.
yeah, that's the little shit sandwich. So put the little sugar first.
That's exactly right.
Yes. All right, now, so we got 233 in the chat, but I got 76 likes. So let me lock y'all out. I got a lead over here.
Come on now. If you got any love for the lead, go on in. Shit, I ain't even hit the like button. Let me like my girl. Let me like it. Everybody hit the like button for us for a second.
So this here is his response to the petition for divorce. And so the first part of this is him responding back to everything that Kandi filed in hers. And so let me pull up her petition so I can know what he's responding to.
And while you do that, shout out to Tasha's on it. Tasha AK47 said he had the prenup for months. He waited to sign the prenup. Kandi recorded the signing by Todd.
Well, I said it was going on for months.
I will say this. That attorney was very smart in recording it. This happened to a basketball player a while back. His name is Steven Jackson. Now, Steven Jackson's a clown, but he has a big podcast with the light-skinned dude with the good hair. And what happened was he had spent $400,000 on the wedding. He had hired an attorney to do the prenup, gave the girl the prenup, and every 2 weeks, 3 weeks, he check in, hey, you gonna sign the prenup? And the girl was like, I signed it. It went on that way for months. Then at the wedding, the prenup still wasn't signed. And so he goes to the girl and is like, hey, you know, you haven't signed the prenup. And she just bursts out in tears. She's like, sorry, give it to me. And she just, and he was like, they had already put him on game, and he canceled the whole wedding. And it was the smartest thing, because if that girl, you know, with tears in her eyes is signing the prenup, any judge in the nation would have thrown that thing out. Right? So it's good that the attorney was there. Like, hey, man, we're going to try to fix this, ameliorate this situation. Let's videotape it. Yeah. Your damn wife beater. You know, asking you, is anybody force you? Do you feel that you're under duress? Or do you feel like you've been coerced? Is this all, you know, your volitions? Or are you trying to save it at the end with this recording?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I don't know. The more we talk about it and the more things that come up, I'm thinking the prenup Might be okay.
It might be. I mean, that recording meant a lot. If there was no recording, if I was a judge, I just would have thrown it out. Like, Candy, you gotta do better, baby. Go on and give him 14 million. Run him his money.
Oh, that just made my heart hurt. I don't even have that much money.
I was like, Candy, go and talk to your attorney. I'm sure he's got malpractice insurance. Well, really, no, let me take that back. Let me take that back because of what Tasha K said. Tasha A.K. said, it's not the attorney's fault. The attorney drafted it, gave it to Candy for months. This is all Candy's fault.
Yeah.
Candy
Yeah.
did not want to insist that man.
Well, you know what? She kept insisting, but at the same time, what she should have done was halted the wedding plans.
100%.
I'm halting plans until it's signed. But
100%.
Insisting, but at the same time, things kept moving, the plans kept going, the wedding date kept approaching.
If you ask me, there's no insistence. You're not insisting on anything if there's no consequences on the back end. You're asking. If you're just asking and the person doesn't do it, then fine. When you insist, to me, that means like there's some consequences on the back end, right? And it just seemed like for her, there was always going to be a wedding. And if there's always going to be a wedding, you're just basically asking at that point because you have no leverage. You're
Yep.
exactly right, Finn. It should have been like, hey, if you don't sign this by, 90 days out, we're gonna pause the wedding. The word that you use is so good in the word pause. Now it's problematic because maybe you got deposits on venues and stuff like that, and those things can run 6-12 months out.
Yeah.
You could lose your whole deposit. So the guy kind of has leverage if he can drag the woman into the loss of the deposit territory. Cause baby, you don't want to lose this money, and Candy tight with it, right? She don't want to lose the money.
And all, and NA Allen 007 brings up a good point. She couldn't stop the wedding. She had a bag on the line with the wedding show. So they had a big with Bravo.
That's such a great point. So it's like switching. So your boy had a lot of leverage. Like, hey, what if I don't sign it? What you gonna do? What you gonna do?
Like Bertha said, it's all a scheme. Stick up my God. Bullshit.
Shout out to Ed Allen. That's an amazing point.
That's exactly some ninja in the t-shirt that white people. We gotta marry up.
Oh, here we go. We gotta be equally yoked.
Yes. Why? This is what Pastor talking about. The niggas won't try to run off with your money.
Oh my gosh. We
Basically,
got 200 people in the chat. If everybody can hit the like button for us, man.
I love it. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to leave in about 30 minutes because I do want to run over the light time. But I had to jump on this thing. And shit, the way we going, we ain't gonna finish this anyway.
Let's skip the first part.
I'll be slowing you down, so.
Let's get to the counterclaim.
Yeah.
Alright, so this is what the juicy is, what we live with.
You don't have to rush it through if you don't want to, or you could do the counterclaim first, because I do think that's some more juicy stuff, and then go back to the other stuff.
Yeah, because all he's doing was admitting, denying. So the counterclaim is what Todd is asking for in the divorce. So he states, husband is and has been a resident of Fulton County for 6 months, so the venue is proper in Fulton County. The parties were lawfully married on or about April 4th, 2014, and are currently living in a bona fide state of separation. I will note that in Candy's divorce, she had a date of separation of July 15, 2025. I noticed that Todd doesn't. Does that matter?
It doesn't. You should have a date, but honestly, we divorce attorneys will use any date. The date really doesn't matter so much. It matters a lot in other states because other states will require that the parties be separated for 6 months or even 12 months. And during that 12 months, if they have sex one time, then the clock restarts. Some states are crazy. In Georgia, I think it's just 30 days, so we can just pull any date, really. And that's what attorneys do, just pull any date.
Okay. He states there are 2 minor children of issue, A. Tucker, and was born in 2016, and B. Tucker, the female, born in 2019. Husband shows that he should be awarded temporary as well as final decision making authority. So here he's not asking for joint legal custody.
That's a mistake.
Okay.
He should be asking for temporary and permanent physical legal custody. Because I think at the top
Mm-hmm.
they said that they wanted joint legal custody.
That's what I thought. They
Guys,
had.
there's two types of custody. There's physical custody, who the kids are going to live with, and then there's legal custody, like who can get the kids' medical records and school records and stuff like that. So we praising Randy, but we caught a little error right here. Now he left the word physical out.
Making a little mistake. So the husband shows that he should be awarded temporary and permanent legal custody of the party's children as well as final decision making authority. Husband shows that he should be awarded temporary and permanent primary physical custody of the children. In the event the parties are unable to resolve all issues privately, the court should determine all matters related to the minor children in accordance with OCGA 1993 and 19615.
Okay, let's go back to 19. It did look like permanent and temporary and permanent legal custody. So he is asking for legal custody there. He addressed the physical in the paragraph below. I didn't see that, but it's weird how he's saying he wants legal custody there, but in the top portion he says he wants joint legal. So, and really joint legal is the standard nowadays. It didn't used to be that way, but it is now. You really have to show that the other parent is a really bad parent to get full custody of a child. And they can't show that, I have no reason to believe that Candy's a bad mom. She's working hard, providing for her kids. So the judge is going to give joint legal custody in this case.
Correct. And by asking for primary legal custody, that would just mean they don't have to have a conversation. So joint legal custody requires that they talk about those issues and then Todd would make final decision. But if he has primary legal custody, that means there's no conversation. He doesn't have to ask Candy what school she wants the kids to go to or thinks they should go to. He would just be able to have free reign. So that's not going to happen.
Yeah, if he had full custody, she wouldn't even be able to get access to the kids' medical records or school records necessarily, so she wouldn't have to sign off on any passports or anything like that. So the judge isn't going to allow that.
No, not at all. Not at all. So let's see, in accordance with OCGA 19969, and when I read this, I'm like, oh my God, why did you put this out? But somebody told me everybody knows where Candy lives already in Atlanta, so it's not a big deal. But
yeah, plus it's a statutory requirement that you have to put this paragraph in there.
yeah.
Now, if you don't want everybody to know where you live, what the parties could have done is try to seal the case. It's not necessarily a rubber stamp when parties try to seal a case, but when you are famous and you got a lot of money, and Atlanta's used to famous people, a lot of times the judges will go ahead and do it.
And her attorney has now come back and filed a motion to seal it.
Oh, well,
Like, damn, that's what I'm saying. She's some money, man.
Who's the attorney? Who's her attorney?
Adama McKinnon.
McKinnon. I don't know. I think I heard the last name McKinnon. I don't know. I have to go up.
Okay, it says the minor children have resided with the parties in the marital residence located at 525 Carondelet Cove, Atlanta, Georgia, since birth. Husband has not participated as a party witness in any other cases. That's all this is. In the event the parties are unable to resolve these issues at mediation or otherwise, husband requests that these issues be heard at the 30-day status conference scheduled for January 12th, 2026, or in the alternative, that this matter be scheduled for a temporary hearing at the court's earliest convenience to address temporary custody, parenting time, and all other temporary issues necessary to promote the best interests of the minor children and to ensure clarity and stability for the parties pending final resolution of this action. All I hear is he wants child support.
Yep. He he
Listen,
want
let's get
child
the
support. Yep.
started. Let's get these attorneys' fees started.
Yep.
Let's let's get this temporary alimony started. Let's get it all started. Let's start it all up.
Yes, yes. And you can request a
He
temporary
trying to get
hearing
all
order,
that
and usually
coin.
those are sent like in 10 days, or if it's an emergency, I guess. But they already have a hearing coming up January 12th, so more than likely the court will address that at that time. What do you think?
Well, it's a status conference in Fulton County. Fulton County is a little different than other counties because they're so huge. Atlanta, guys, is located in Fulton County. So they have to have things really organized and processed, or cases will start falling through the cracks because there's just millions of cases over the years. So they have 30-day conferences where once you file, there's already in the clerk's file 30 days. You have to show up. You don't get to talk to the judge, but you get to talk to like this magistrate judge. It's kind of like a lower type of judge to figure out what's going on. So it's not a hearing. Sometimes the clients don't even have to show up, and you can just kind of talk to see, okay, where are we going? Do we need a temporary hearing? You know, are you guys going to go to mediation? Do you need a mediation order? What's going on? So the 30-day hearing is not like a real hearing where you argue on the merits. It's just a status saying, okay, what's going on, guys? Are y'all going to play nice? Are y'all going to fight? And if y'all going to fight, do y'all need us? What do y'all need to do? And so that's why Randy is saying, hey, you know, maybe we can resolve some of this stuff at the status conference, because at the status conference, a lot of times the parties will enter into, they'll kind of mediate kind of at the status conference. It's okay, like, how much do you want to pay for child support, this, that, and third, to avoid the temporary. Because if we don't get any movement at the status conference, then a lot of times we'll just go ahead and ask for the temporary hearing and let the real judge decide kind of what's going on in the case.
Now, because that 30-day set in January is just a status conference, could we see a Rule 9 issued for a hearing on a separate date?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
it could be, because a lot of times the attorneys, we will agree to postpone or blow through the 30 days. So a lot of times we don't even have to show up for the 30 days. We'll get permission from the judge. Yeah, we're working. Just give us a 60-day, and you know, every 30 days you'll be checking on it. You know, but yeah, we're not going to go to the 30 days. We're making a lot of movement, so we can absolutely see a Rule 9 pop off at any time.
Yeah, and just know if it's a hearing, Fitz don't be in the building.
Oh, okay. I'm like, just look at Kandi. What's she wearing today? I went to Tyrese's divorce, and that Samantha chick was looking mighty nice. Okay, so shout out to Kandi.
Yes, yes. All right, so where are we? Says husband is entitled to a divorce from petitioner on the ground that the marriage is irretrievably broken. And there are no prospects for reconciliation. While husband remains hopeful that the parties can resolve all issues amicably and privately, husband expressly reserves the right to assert and add additional grounds for divorce as permitted by law. What are you trying to say?
Yeah, what this is saying is like, listen, we put this in here because a lot of times we have, let's say I'm married, and these damn paralegals got me by a chokehold, so I'm cheating on my wife, right? And my wife is gonna file the divorce under irreconcilable differences, but she gonna tell me, she's gonna be like, listen, you know, you an attorney, you got your little social media thing, I ain't gonna try to blow up your spot, so I'm not gonna put in here adultery, right? But I can file this under adultery and blow up your spot. So depending on how things go, I'm gonna keep the adultery in my back pocket. And so I'm reserving the right to amend this if you want to get, you know, sketchy, and then I can amend these grounds and put in adultery or cruelty or stuff like that, and really start making some crazy allegations against you.
Wow.
So that's what that sentence means. It's like, all right, we're going to play nice right now, and I'm going to say irreconcilable differences, but I reserve the right to change it. Get a little froggy, okay? And maybe I'll start talking about some cruelty. You know, you slapped me upside the head when the cameras were turned off. You know, probably we ain't see all that. So that's what that sentence means.
Oh, okay. Maybe he'll be sliding in something about the dungeon.
No, what's the dungeon?
Just the dungeon they got over there.
Okay.
Allegedly.
Got the swings and the straps.
Right. Okay, husband shows that the parties signed a prenuptial agreement dated April 4th, 2014, immediately prior to the wedding ceremony.
Wait, April 14th? They've been married forever.
Yeah, they married 11 years.
I did not know that. I went to a Hawks game and I sat right behind them. They were on the front row. They were courtside. I couldn't get no damn seats, but I was right behind them. And shit, he as short as she is. I was like, okay, Kandi. I didn't know who he was. I didn't know anything about the dude, but I was surprised to see. I was like, wow, okay. So shout out to Kandi. Getting them real with. Shit, she got a real one, all right. But I didn't know they were married for so long. Wow.
11 years.
That's crazy.
So he said, I done helped create some of this wealth.
I mean, 11 years. Yeah, he took care of a lot.
hmm So he says that the party signed a prenup dated April 4th, 2014, which is the same day of the wedding, immediately prior to the wedding ceremony. So it wasn't signed in advance. Petitioner's counsel at that time was fully aware that husband was represented by the undersigned, which is Randy, and had been actively communicating with his attorney regarding the terms of a potential prenup agreement.
Okay, so this right here, Randy saying, no, let me clear this up. I was representing him. I was his lawyer. Regardless of whether there was a retainer agreement, regardless of whether it was payment, I'm his lawyer, and so, stuff needs to run through me. So, man, that's a bad statement for Kandi's case right there.
Yeah, it is. It says, despite that knowledge, petitioner's counsel presented the final agreement to husband for signature immediately before the wedding ceremony, without any notice to or a consultation with Randy Kessler.
You know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. Let me be honest. Those two sentences right there alone, I'm throwing the whole prenup out.
No!
I'm throwing it out. I don't care what he said. I don't care what this man said on camera. I don't care what he signed. How is it that the attorney is talking to this man?
With moderate to severe Crohn's disease symptoms despite treatment, put them in check with Rinvoq.
How is it that the attorney is talking to this man face to face without that man's attorney? Just on that alone. And I might say this at the status conference. And a lot of times, guys, maybe not at the status conference, maybe at like a pretrial hearing, or maybe we'll get the judges on the phone, and the judge will be like, listen, I'm not making any rulings. I haven't heard any evidence. I don't really know what's going on, but from the little that you guys have told me, I don't like the way this is looking. I don't like the fact that this attorney was in this black man's face talking to him, a foot away, when she knew that he had an attorney. And so because of that, it prejudices everything. I don't care what's on videotape. I don't care what he signed. I don't care what she asked him. She shouldn't have been talking to him in the first place. That right there, to me, those two sentences, shout out to Randy. I didn't know about all that. I'm ready to throw the whole damn thing out. Give this man a damn 15 million.
Oh,
Give him the 15 million. Somebody write 15 million in the damn chat. Those two sentences alone blow the whole shit up. I don't know what was Kandi's attorney thinking?
Well, they said that Todd called and said, I want to move forward without my attorney. He's saying, basically, I'm firing my attorney. Forget it.
Is that what?
Well, I don't know, right? Because Randy told him don't sign it. Well, he signed it.
So it's interesting. If what you're saying is, what's the name, Todd? If Todd fired Randy, then Randy wasn't the attorney, and so she didn't have to talk to Randy anymore. She could talk directly to Todd. So now I'm back in it. The question for me is, was Todd represented or not?
Right.
That's a huge question for me. Was Todd represented or not?
And now, we saw the show, but the show was edited. So we don't know the full conversation, but somebody got the full tape.
Oh, we doing discovery on this one for real. Boy, Bravo's gonna be pulling all into this. Yes, I want to know, guys. To me, is a huge. Maybe this whole case for me can kind of turn on whether this man was represented or not.
Yeah. Ooh, not 15 million lead.
Dude, don't get to it. Chop it up.
No. 11 years.
Straight down the middle. Give him his 15 million.
Okay.
He outside the prenup. Alright, let's see. Despite that knowledge, petitioner's counsel presented the final agreement to husband for signature immediately before the wedding, without any notice to or consultation with Randy Kessler, who had been significantly engaged in the negotiation process. Oh, Candy just lost. Just lost. These circumstances raise substantial questions concerning the enforceability of said document. Nevertheless, husband remains committed to working in good faith to resolve this matter amicably and privately to the extent possible. Oh, you put in deals for the money.
Golly, I'm ready to. I want to see was he represented or not. If he was represented, I'm not gonna, as a judge, I'm not gonna validate anything that he signed. I'm not gonna validate anything that he said. But if he was not represented, then he's his own man. He's representing himself, basically. And so now he can sign for himself, and he can say things on camera for himself.
But Randy said he was heavily involved in the negotiation process. So if that's the case, and you've been talking to Randy and Todd calls you day of, I'm firing Randy. I want to sign. What, do you still call Randy to check?
100%. 100%. Randy, are you working this case or not, pal? Are you in it or you not in it? Because it's weird how, and people will do this a lot, especially husbands. And it's weird. This is like, well, I guess in this case, husbands will try to negotiate a better deal, and so they'll call the office and they'll be like, hey, I know you said that I can't talk to you because I'm represented, but I fired her. So now I can talk to you. Hang up in his face, call her, call the attorney. Are you still on this Satterfield versus Satterfield? Yeah, I'm still on it. Okay, well, your client called me. Or no, I'm not on it. I'm filing my motion to withdraw and the order signed and it should be in the system. But in this case, since there was no court case, there's really no entry of appearance. So it's all kind of word of mouth. But to protect myself and protect my client, what I would do if I was Kandi's attorney, I would call up Randy and say, hey, Randy, are you on this case? And Randy would be like, nah, he fired me, 3 hours ago. So I said, okay, well, can you just shoot me an email saying that you're no longer representing? Yeah, I'll shoot you an email, Lee, no problem. Boom. And your boy's going to come up to me. Hey, now, can we talk about the prenup? No, don't talk to me. Don't say nothing to me until I get that damn email from your attorney, which allows me to talk to you, right? That's how you would kind of do it, best practice.
Yeah, you gotta
If
see
you
why.
want to do it at all. This is so sketchy, this last minute stuff.
Yes, very. During the course of the marriage,
Your vacation rental and your hammock. Be invisible. Get seen, get booked on Booking.com. Only Brawny has 3 plies,
come
and it's more
on.
absorbent than Bounty.
Come on. I can't even skip through it.
parties have acquired various assets, known and unknown to husband, tangible and intangible. Husband should be awarded an equitable division of all marital assets, both real and personal, tangible and intangible, between the parties. Todd wants some money.
Yeah, he want the money, he want the Bitcoin, he want the furniture, he want the cars, he want the properties, the real estate, these damn Atlanta Airbnbs. Yeah, he want half all of it. And when I say he wants half of all of it, guys, please know that that's not really precise, because equitable division doesn't necessarily mean half. Equitable division, which he's asking for, it can mean 55%, 60%, 70%, 80%. I mean, it can mean anything. It can mean equitable means what's fair. So he's not asking for a 50-50 split. He's asking for a fair split. And I've been in the trenches and I've been taking care of these kids, and she got all this money based on what I allowed her to do, because she couldn't have had these opportunities if it wasn't for me watching these kids break me off something, So
He definitely.
yeah. What's that?
Yeah, I say he's definitely getting something.
Oh, he gonna leave it with something.
Oh, he getting paid. That's for damn sure.
Husband shows the court that he should be awarded his separate property and any appreciation thereon. So I'm not sure what else he owns. I know it was like an apartment in New York at one point or something. Husband shows that the parties have acquired debt throughout the course of the marriage. Husband requests that such debt be equitably divided. Now, could the debt cancel him out, or will he still walk away with something?
No, in fact, what could happen is just like the assets are going to be split and not necessarily 50-50, the debts are going to be split as well and not necessarily 50-50. So he might not have to pay 50% of the debts. He might only have to pay 40% or 30%, especially because he's not the breadwinner. He don't have it like that. She has a lot more wherewithal to pay the debts than he does. You see this in marriages where, let's say, the guy's making $300,000 and the wife is making, $40,000. How is she gonna pay any debts? She ain't gonna pay no debt. So a lot of the time, the judge be like, "Hey, man, listen. What's fair is that you pay the lion's share of these debts."
I think what's going to happen here as well, because I mean, if we're throwing out this 34 million, I don't have the exact number, but let's say that is it, and ours is a six-figure number,
Right.
she might be paying all of it.
Okay. he ain't got it like that.
Dang, the cost of love, or borrowed love, I guess, right?
Yes.
Husband shows that OCGA 1957 provides as follows with regard to the transferring or disposition of property. After petition for divorce. Okay, so this just says that basically now that they file for divorce, nobody can transfer any property while it's pending. So you can't put your house in your mama's name to try to hide the assets.
Exactly.
You can't put stuff in Mama Joy's name, so she got to just live with what's there when she filed. Further, wife is bound by the provisions of.
After Bizarro showed up one day so pissed at Superman punching him millions of miles away, he suddenly started casting a spell while Clark is trying his best to stop him, until Bizarro explained that he simply wants revenge on Superman because he left him alone and lost for so many years. He then reveals that he had found the Sorcerer's World and taken their magic to cast.
My bad, y'all.
Provisions of 1961E, which says pending the final determination by the court of the right of either party to alimony, neither party shall make any substantial change in the assets of the party's estate except in the course of ordinary affairs and except for bona fide transfers for value. He asking for alimony.
He's gonna ask for the alimony. So what he's saying is, hey guys, do not let this lady transfer anything out, because if she transfers stuff out, that's kind of extinguishing my financial interest, my marital interest in these assets. So she has to keep everything unless, that's the normal stuff that she was doing.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get paid, Judge.
Trying to get paid. Trying to get paid. Get paid. Husband insists that petitioner comply with the foregoing statute in all respects. Petitioner is put on notice of not only the law of the state of Georgia, but also on notice of husband's intent to insist on full and absolute compliance by petitioner. Husband hereby places petitioner on notice of the following provision of spoliation of evidence. So you are hereby notified that Georgia law requires you to exercise reasonable care to protect and preserve evidence related to the issues in the case action. By this notice, you are hereby given notice not to destroy, conceal, or alter any video, audio, paper, or electronic files, or other data in connection with this pending litigation. What are they seeking?
Yeah, that's that right there is just statutory language.
Okay.
That's really in every divorce case. It's just kind of boilerplate.
Just saying don't destroy any evidence that we could possibly use against you in the case.
Yeah, what it's saying is, hey man, we're gonna do discovery. Alright, so just be on notice that discovery's coming and you have to keep everything.
Yeah, and they're asking like any financial records or statements, all income records, tax records, expense records, all recordings of evidence reflecting relevant conduct by either party. So I don't know, is there videos that we'll see.
And to be honest, that language right there is not tailored to this
Okay.
particular case. It's just it.
Okay.
It's a boilerplate. We just use it in all cases.
Okay, so it's not being messy. I got you.
No, you reading into it. You're like, what's going on here?
I
Like,
know,
I
what's going on?
love it.
Okay, husband is hopeful the parties will reach an agreement settling all issues pending between them. However, if such an agreement cannot be reached, husband reserves the right to amend this counterclaim accordingly. And all of this here is just asking for everything that he asked for already in the petition. Wow, this is getting messy.
It's getting super messy. We got 275 people in here. Y'all hit the like button. Shout out to Eden Allen.
Yes,
Todd is just...
and Poison. This is her other account.
Yeah, she got all these damn accounts. Just like a Russian.
I know.
She says Todd is just like these housewives that haven't been in the workforce, raising the kids, making a home, making a house a home. He's about to get paid. Yeah, he's about to get paid. He's about to get something.
Yeah, definitely about to get something. Shout out NLE007 for the $10 super chat. Thank you, sis. Yeah, this is getting messy, y'all.
Yeah, I'm glad you're covering it because listen, to be honest, if they start sealing the records, who knows? That might be the end of it.
I know. That's why I said let me hurry up and get on this live and cover it before
Okay.
it'll be
That might be the end of it.
third trial. That's how I got on.
Exactly. No, you're doing great. You're doing great. Well, listen, I think I'm gonna head out the lifetime because I only got 2 hours left. They close out 12.
Gotta go sit in the sauna.
Okay, I gotta get my mind right.
Okay.
But if you wanted to go back to the admissions and the denials of the complaint and kind of compare them, I don't know the correct, but shout out to everybody, man. Shout out to Finn. Somebody write Finn in the damn chat.
In the damn chat.
Okay, thank you so much for allowing me to come up here. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Lee, for coming up. Thank you. Enjoy the gym. Y'all shout out to Kandi if one of the mods can drop his channel in the chat. Thank you so much, Lee, for coming up.
Yeah, shout out to me. All right, y'all have a great night.
Good night, Lee. All right, y'all. So we're gonna go next document. So after Todd's attorney came in with this amazing answer, right? He's been filed his answer, counterclaim. He's asking for primary custody of the kids. He's asking for alimony. He's asking for child support, and he's asking for the judge to award this sooner rather than later. And so the next document we're going to take a look at is Kandi's attorney went back and amended her petition. She was like, wait a minute. Like, see, this is what sometimes we do, right? As attorneys, I've done it before as well, right? It's the practice of law. So when you go to law school, you don't learn how to write all these complaints. You basically learn as you're in the practice of law. And so someone sends you a complaint, you use it, you pull from this complaint, and then sometimes you get hit with a good complaint from an attorney that wrote something better than you, and you adopt it and put it in yours when you refile. So let's see. Did Kandi's complaint get that much better? Because we've read Todd's answer, and he's asking for primary custody, alimony, child support, and to rip the prenup up. I can't believe it. Todd is challenging the prenup, y'all. So let's get into the Kandi's amended complaint. Oh, let me make it bigger. Okay, there we go. All right, so as you know, Kandi originally filed for divorce November 21st. With amazing celebrity family attorney Ayama Ferry, so check that out. And now we have Todd's answer and Kandi's amended petition. The amended petition was filed today. Well, it's dated today. Well, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's dated today, which means it was filed today as well. So Randy's was returned earlier today. It's dated the 26th, but court was closed for the holiday, so it came back today. She saw it, and she jumped into action and filed Kandi's amended petition. So the amended petition states that petitioner filed her petition for divorce on November 21st. Petitioner served counsel for respondent on the same day. Now, this is something we didn't know on Saturday, right? Because there wasn't a acknowledgement of service or anything filed. So we thought Todd still had to be served. So his attorney, who was Randy Kessler, was known about prior to the divorce being filed. And therefore, she served him with it the same day, which is typical, right? That's what you normally do when you already know that the other party has an attorney, which brings us back now. So if Randy is the attorney now, was he the attorney when it was time to sign the prenup? Now that's going to be the sticking point there. That's going to determine whether this divorce gets into a temporary alimony amount, temporary child support amount, or temporary custody issue. Because if the prenup stands, then it's already spelled all of that out. And I saw someone in the chat earlier, I can't remember who said it, but they said Todd's two things was the 30-day, and then he was asking for an undisclosed amount of money. So if the prenup is upheld, however much he's supposed to get from this is already listed out. However, if the prenup is thrown out, then Kandi could be getting Halle Berry. Oh, I hope that doesn't happen. I know Lee told y'all to put 15 million in the chat, but I hope that doesn't happen. That hurts my heart. All right, so the respondent is a resident of Fulton County, and is subject to the venue of this court. So Todd has moved out of the marital residence because they are living in a bona fide separate state. However, he stays still in Fulton County. Petitioner and respondent were married. Oh, I'm sorry, this is Kandi's amended petition. I forgot that quick, I'm sorry. So yeah, she's still in Fulton. Petitioner and respondent were married in April 2014. Prior to the date of marriage and conduction of the marriage ceremony, the parties drafted, negotiated, and executed an enforceable prenuptial agreement under the applicable statutes of the state of Georgia. So Kandi, in her amended complaint, is saying that prior to the date of marriage and conduction of the marriage ceremony, this document was drafted, negotiated, and executed. Now, somebody else earlier in the chat said, could the execution on the show just have been for the show, and the document actually have already been executed? And it looks like that might be what Kandi's attorney is trying to say, right? Because she's saying that prior to the date of marriage. Now, we will never see this prenup. The prenup contains bank account information, financial information that's private, kids' social, not kids' social, but their social, their financial documents and information. So we're not going to see that. But what Kandi's attorney is asserting in this document is that it was signed prior to the date of marriage. So that's going to be interesting as well. So what we saw on TV, was it edited? Was that just for TV, or is that when the document was signed? We're going to have to find out. All right, attorney Randy Kessler represented the respondent, and he provided legal counsel and direction to the respondent during these considerations on and off camera. Further, the parties' journey to executing an enforceable prenup was filmed and broadcasted on Bravo Television Network with the knowledge and consent of both the petitioner and respondent for their 5-part reality television wedding documentary entitled Kandi's Wedding that premiered on June 1st, 2014. So, what does this mean? Y'all, I'm going to sweat. It's hot. It is hot up in here. I got the air on upstairs. I got the fireplace on. I'm like, oh, I'm over here getting hot. Put this sweatshirt up. I need to get my fan. Alright, so what this says, Kandi's attorney in her amended complaint, because remember, Todd's answer comes out, and so in it she gets to see this overview where they're saying that he signs this prenup for hours or minutes before the wedding. So she is addressing that, and she says that prior to the date of marriage and the conduction of the marriage ceremony, the parties drafted, negotiated, and executed this document. So what she is asserting is that this document was signed prior to the wedding. I don't know, y'all. That's what it's gonna come down to. So let's hope it was. Let's hope what we saw on the show was just for TV. And what occurred in reality is that this document was signed with his attorney, because in this document, Kandi is admitting that Randy Kessler was Todd's attorney during this prenup. So somebody lying. Too True 007 says somebody lying, because all of this can't be facts, right? So
Yep,
if Randy
somebody
was
lying.
Todd's attorney, and Todd was presented the final document and not present it to Randy, then there's going to be some problems. As you heard TLA say, he would throw it out. He would absolutely throw it out. So that's going to be interesting. When was it signed? They're admitting that Randy was his attorney. I mean, Candy's attorney. I mean, Candy's
The Laredo mother is demanding answers after her daughter, Texas A&M student Brianna Aguilera, was found dead in Austin hours
Dang
after.
it.
And Candy's attorney
Yeah,
says
it
it in the
hurts.
document. She says right here, she says Randy Kessler represented the respondent, and he provided legal counsel and direction to him during these considerations on and off camera.
Shit, my head hurts.
Further, the party's journey was filmed on Bravo. So if we believe what Candy attorney says, then everything was done right. But both of them can't be telling the truth.
Yeah.
So who is lying? Who is lying? That is what's gonna come out in this divorce, and that's why I say, y'all, things are getting messy. I hope we don't get kicked out. Shout out to Sass the E Experience sends a $5 super chat. Thank you. How Todd go from an EGOT chasing producer to daddy daycare? Well, damn. Truly a scheme that Todd set up with the B. With the bullshit. Andy girl. How did Todd go from an EGOT chasing producer to daddy daycare? Because he married the EGOT chasing Kandi. And somebody had to keep the kids. And that's the role that he took on. And so, is it fair for him to be iced out? And so he's challenging his prenup, and if he breaks through it, Lee say he's getting $15 million plus child support. Oh goodness, Holly Berry. Okay, so right off, Candy's in her complaint, her amended complaint, she admits Randy was his attorney. So if that final document was not presented to Randy, I think the judge might have an issue with that. And then did Todd fire Randy, or was it we finally got the final? I heard someone saying we can't get Randy on the phone, so instead of holding things up, I'm gonna go ahead and sign it without Randy. As the other attorney, as you heard Lee say, the due diligence is you reach out to Randy, you send the email and bag it up. We put it on Kandi. You host wedding plans. Forget a show, forget a contract. If Bravo paid you $500,000 for this wedding, if they paid you $1 million and you're worth 34, you hold up that $1 million to protect your 34. Period. In the story. So she should have. If you wanted the prenup signed and that was a condition of you getting married, as Lee said, you halt things until that's done. You don't even play this. You make that prenup final being a condition of Bravo's show even starting. That shouldn't even, if it was something for the show, it really just should have been for the show. And you all are playing this out on the show, but that prenup should have already been signed if that was going to be do or die. There's no reason for you to start a wedding special and the prenup hasn't been signed. So, bad move there. The respondent audibly announced during this documentary that he was indeed good to sign the prenup during a private encounter with the petitioner and after consulting with his attorney, Randy Kessler, on and off camera. But today, Todd is saying that's not the case. He's saying he wasn't good, and that his attorney is saying, you knew I represented him, and you submitted him the final document. So if Candy's attorney knew he was represented, and so what if Randy couldn't be reached by phone? You all should have waited to the last minute. So if the attorney knows Randy is representing him, and obviously Candy's new attorney now is admitting that they knew that they were in discussion with him, they failed by not making sure they had Randy to sign off on that prenup, or to at least say, I'm no longer representing Todd. And I think someone dropped in the comments earlier that Randy actually told Todd not to sign, and he was his attorney. So, I don't know, y'all. It's looking iffy if this prenup is going to be upheld. The petition goes on to speak about the 2 minor children being an issue, and here's additional information. Both the petitioner and respondent are public figures and self-employed entrepreneurs who work in the metropolitan area and throughout the United States. So basically, Candy's saying, hold up, don't be trying to make it like I'm just the only one out here working and traveling and moving around. You are too. We are both self-employed entrepreneurs. We work here and we work throughout the U.S. We both do this. So this is going into her vibe for asking for custody. She then says during the periods of time that the respective parties' work schedules require them to travel, the petitioner has hired and paid the expenses for a full-time nanny. So basically, once again, Kandi is lumping them into this together. Like, we both have respective work schedules that we both are gone. So don't let day-to-day care videos fool you. There are times that Todd's business makes him travel as well. The nanny has provided care and assisted the parties with the minor children throughout the marriage
I'll
and
be
sets
right
the
back,
respective
y'all.
births of each of the minor children to date without any objection from the respondent. Both the petitioner and respondent have held professional obligations that have required each party to travel away from the home for extended period of times, independently and jointly, prior to and after the birth of both of their minor children. So what Kandi is saying, don't be fooled. Now, I'm not the only one that's out here being a boss and traveling and working. So is he. And that whenever this occurs, I pay for a nanny. And basically, he never had a problem with it ever before. So now I asked originally for joint custody, which means if I need help, we have this nanny. But now you're asking for primary custody because I'm always on the road. And it never was a problem before. So why is it a problem now? And y'all, this is why a prenup is important, and why we said on the live Saturday, you don't divorce who you marry, right? Because just like Candy's point out, it was all good till it ain't, right? It was all good. You didn't have any problem for 11 years. I've traveled, I've worked. I think the oldest child was born, let's say 2016. What is that? 7 years old. Like you haven't had a problem, right? You haven't had almost 10. You haven't had a problem. 9, so it's the oldest. You haven't had a problem with this. You haven't had a problem with the nanny stepping in and helping me care. But now that we're getting divorced, it's the problem. That's what happens, y'all. You do not divorce who you marry. In addition to the nanny service, the petitioner has a diverse and concentrated family support network, which includes maternal grandparents, aunts, uncles, and cousins within a 5 to 20-mile radius of the family residence. The petitioner's support network is readily available and has traditionally supported the minor children emotionally and physically throughout the marriage in accordance with the petitioner. Therefore, the petitioner amends her petition and asserts in accordance with OCGA 1993 that it is in the best interest of the minor children for her to be awarded primary physical custody of the minor children, with the respondent being awarded parenting time with the children on a consistent basis and in accordance with a parenting plan. Oh, what do y'all think? So Kandi basically sets up her amended complaint. She shows that we both have traveled. We both have to go out of town for our business. We have this nanny that's been in place. This nanny has been keeping the kids since their birth, which is they're 9 and 6. So this is a long time that this nanny has been involved. She has a lot of family. We seen them on the show, right? They had a whole Bravo spinoff where they went on a ski cabin trip, right? It's like 20 or 30 of them. Like she's from Atlanta. Her mom's here, her aunts are here, like grandparent, like the kids' grandparents. She has support, so she could be primary custodian, I'm sorry, and have support with family keeping the kids in addition to a nanny that they've known all their life. So she's saying, hey, I'll take the kids. Give me primary custody and we'll give you visitation. What do y'all think? I'm sorry, I can't say delicates of life. She is correct. Todd was literally just in Detroit, Chicago for his play. He was. He's also touring around because he has like a new movie or something. He's setting up different venues where people can come and view the movie. So definitely, Kandi is being more specific in this amendment. Jamaica Sweet says, definitely, because Randy Kessler was real specific in his, so you gotta bump it up. You gotta bump it up. Delicate let's say Delicates of Life. I'm sorry, y'all. I gotta make my screen big enough to see. Delicates of Life. It says he travels too. Yes. Too True 007 says Kandi, what the heck? Right. Like, this is getting ugly, so we can tell. Saturday, we didn't know when Kandi filed her petition what exactly was the source of contention, right? Because Kandi and her petition stated that they have been separated since July 15, 2025. We are now in December. They filed end of November. So they have been talking since July trying to resolve things. And you all know, like, once they separated, I'm sure even prior to that, there had been talks of their separation and what they would do with the kids. So they haven't been able to reach an agreement yet. They both have had counsel. They both have been negotiating and trying to resolve it. But it seems like they're fighting over this prenup, alimony, child support. I mean, so the names of a case, right? The division of the assets, division of debt. If that prenup is blown up, this is going to be a full-blown divorce from start to finish, and the judge will have the ability to make final decision on every aspect of this breakup. It's really sad that, and they have time, right? Because things can settle. Court can be next Monday, and things can settle Sunday evening at 5. They can settle at the courthouse steps, in the courtroom, right before court starts. So it can settle at any time, but it's just sad that things haven't gotten to this point and they're about to get messy. So Kandi says, look, I got family, I got support, I want to have the kids. And so they're already going to be fighting over custody of Ace and Blaze. The petitioner, let me go back. Share. The petitioner reaffirms that it is in the best interest of the minor children for the parties to be awarded joint legal custody of the minor children, and further asserts that it is in the best interest of the children for her to be awarded final decision-making authority with matters related to academics, education, and healthcare. So she's asking for it's education, academic, and healthcare, and so that would lead Dad, as Lee was saying, getting extracurricular and religion. Take those two. I want the main ones because she's asking to be the primary custodian of the kids. So, and I see Jersey Girl Trey says that's so sad. Don't fight over the children, and a lot of times, unfortunately, that's what it is. That's what it is, right? They can't agree. So whenever you can't agree, you come to court. But like I say, they have a lot of time that they can work things out and settle before it gets to a trial point. So the last document I want to show you all is that also after Kandi's attorney amended her complaint, she then filed a motion to seal the case. They're trying to kick us out. They're trying to kick us out. It just got started. Kandi announced it though, right? So if I'm Todd, right, I don't know if Todd wants this sealed, because I don't know, he may want it all out, right? Because everyone's all tuned in. This definitely brings attention to his brand. So he may say, Judge, I don't want it sealed. And what would his reasons be? She filed first without it being sealed, Judge. She put it out
I'm
there
back, y'all.
that we had a prenup and that she wanted the prenup enforced. She put in there about, because she started all of this and never asked for it to be sealed. I found my answer. I didn't ask. And now she's coming and asking to be sealed. And Judge, we wanted to stay public. We wanted to stay open. Maybe he wants it out, right? Everybody can stay in it. He can get the court of public opinion on his side. Who knows where things
Yeah,
can go? As you
maybe.
all learned on Saturday, everything outside of custody of the kids can go to a jury trial. So if they get to the point where they never agree on how to divide the assets, they never agree on how to divide the debts, they can request a jury trial, and maybe one of you can help decide who'll get the house. Isn't that crazy? That is crazy. So it's just too much on the line, and so I really hope that they're able to work this out. But let's go through this.
I'm gonna go ahead and end it right here, cause I want to make me something. I, I gotta eat. Okay, I'm sorry. Hopefully, Todd and Kandi can get this problem solved and whatever. Hopefully they can. If they can't, you know, Like, share, subscribe. See y'all later. Peace.